Welcome to Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery starring Jerry Springer, along with Gene Galvin and me. I'm Megan Hills. We're recorded live in front of a brilliant studio audience at the Folk School Coffee Parlor in Ludlow, Kentucky.
My daddy.
And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerry Springer.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, hey, we went through, we almost didn't get here.
I know.
Talk about, I'm going to always remember this as the flood of 18.
Yeah. Hard rain's going to fall. Hard rain fell in Ludlow, Kentucky, the home of Folk School Coffee Parlor, and we had to work our way around trees, and it was very dangerous.
I almost got wet.
Really a frightening thing. Harrowing experience for you, I'm sure.
But the hotel did lend me an umbrella.
God.
That really was pretty wimpy.
Yeah.
I mean, with all these people crowded in the lobby, I mean, the storm was there for, what, 20 minutes or whatever. Just
Yeah.
pouring
Came down hard, yeah.
And everyone just kind of handled it. And I go up
Except
there,
for
can I have an
Springer.
umbrella?
Yeah.
So I go out there.
I don't
want
to get my shoes wet.
There's kind of an entitlement thing because the drill is I'll go from my condo, which is in Ludlow, over to, see, I just blew my bit. I claim I live in a double wide, you know.
Oh, man,
It
that's
took you 3 years, man.
Man.
3 years you
I
kept
mean,
that
83 Plymouth Reliant. You know.
up. Car.
Anyway, I left my condo. It's at the Pinnacle, by the way. It's a penthouse.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
So I drove.
It's very nice.
And I drove
Which means
over.
we got to reassess how much we're paying.
And got yeah. And so I drive Jerry over here, and often it's raining. We do this show year round, and we get here and we pull up, and I'm an outdoorsy type, so I got a Gore-Tex. Where the hell is that? Oh, I left it in the car. Got kind of a Gore-Tex parka stuff, and I always look at Jerry like the entitlement thing is, well, can't you park inside the Folk School Coffee Parlor so I can just get out and sit down? And I'm like, don't you have a collapsible umbrella or something?
He has no preparation for anything.
Well, you can ask people to back away from the sidewalk so the car can get up on the sidewalk. And then if you just get the right angle, I could walk right out of the car into here without getting
Or
wet.
someone could come out and pick you up with an umbrella, like physically pick you up and bring you in. That could help, too.
Is that a possibility?
Hey, Catfish, new job.
Yeah. Yeah, boy, that's funny. That makes me think of an idea I got. It was something I like about me. Is I got a lot of ideas.
What makes you...
Something I like about
I want to
And
find
I-
the thing that makes you think.
And Megan, you're an HR professional, and Jerry's skirting around the edges of this, the adventure we had driving over here in a hard rain. But is it not true that corporations even spend money to do activities within the workday for bonding?
Oh, absolutely. Oh,
Team
yeah.
building.
People go on retreats.
And why do they
weekend
do
retreats,
that?
Because it fosters a more trusting environment, and you can get to know your teammates better, and
Okay.
just overall helps the environment at work.
And you, as a HR professional, you would agree with that?
Absolutely, I
You
would.
think that would be a good thing?
I think it would, yes.
Haven't you noticed a stark thing that we three, you, Jerry, and I, have never done any team building?
We really, truly have
And
not.
what's
There
the
is no
point?
camaraderie.
Well, she just said what the point was. The point is to build teamwork
Rapport.
and rapport outside the dots of the workday.
The
so you-
confines of our workday. It's pretty
and it-
stressful.
Yeah.
The hour we spend together every week isn't enough?
We did go to Cuba.
What's the plus?
That's
of-
pretty good.
That was a good team
What's
building.
the plus of bonding?
He's so old school.
He is.
You and I are new school, and
Yeah.
we, you know,
Yes.
we're at
Bonding,
the edge.
another thing to put on the schedule. What are
Yeah.
you doing today, honey? I got to go out and bond.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe when you hear my idea, you'll
Yeah.
go,
Oh.
"Well, that's different. I'll do that."
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's going to be my
that other
response.
It's usually people's responses to your
other
ideas.
stuff, no, but
Let's hear
that
this
I will
idea.
do.
Yeah.
I got this idea. We go over to pick a company. Let's say it's Hertz Car Rental.
Oh, no.
Hey, look, Megan, we go in and we rent a
Drive
car.
across the-
1 week, unlimited mileage.
No.
And we show those
stupid
MFs
idea.
how many miles we can put on a rental car in a week. And we drive around America like a big loop. And we just drive and drive. We stop for, run in, use the bathroom, come back. All the food comes from McDonald's. Because it's time stamped on the receipt. And that's how we prove it to the Guinness Book of Record.
No.
We,
No. I cannot be in a car.
Why don't we
with you
just
two
all
for
get
a
together
week.
and stick a fork in our eyes?
You came pretty close to saying. I saw you very close. You're sitting there thinking, is Gene so stupid he doesn't remember he's advanced this idea one,
Many
two, maybe
times.
3 times
Many
before?
times. Nice try there, Galvin. Nice try.
To new summer, Megan. You always got to see it.
You are. I tell you what. There's not many people as tenacious as you. You
You want to know
Why
something?
don't you just do it?
Do it, just do
And
it.
when you
just
come
and
back,
tell us all
announce
about it.
Yeah,
Announce that you did it.
yeah. You know, my
We'll
problem.
even mention it on the podcast.
Mention-
Gene
Drove a car.
drove a car around the country, a rental, and it's the most miles ever put on a rental in 1 week.
Boy, it sounds like a hell of a night. It sounds like an adventure. I'm thinking, and this is my own theory, that we are given by God, and
Here we go.
we're given by God. I was going to say by Jesus, but no, we are given by Yahweh. No, hold on.
No, that's fine.
By Yahweh.
No, that's
By
fine.
God. No, we are given by God, I think, and I'd like to know what you guys think, a finite amount of creativity. So you got what you got. So
You got a
picture-
finite amount.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And when it's over, it's over.
Yours is gone. It
There's
got
no
used.
more. So it's not like, oh, tomorrow I'll be as creative as I was last year or yesterday. No.
I think you've
So
hit
I
your
don't
quota.
really have any more ideas.
That's very true and
Yeah.
evident from the ideas that you pitch.
Scott.
And shall we thank God for that blessing?
Amen.
Amen. Amen to
No
Yahweh.
more idea.
Jerry, did you watch the royal wedding?
I loved it. I
did
did.
too.
I admit we got up at 6 in the morning
Yeah, we stayed up. It was a long
and we
night.
had tea and crumpets and
We had cucumber sandwiches.
yeah. and we watch it. We totally into it, and you know, there was a little nostalgia being born in Britain, but it was just so cool because it was the merging of cultures, and it also shows that culture is always ahead of institutions. It's always more progressive. Institutions, by definition, have rules, norms, and that's what makes the institution. And to change it, there's always a really long, tough process to do it. So there's resistance. But culture is just made up of the people who happen to be living there and their stories that they pass on and their interests and their lives and their modernity. So what we're seeing is in Great Britain, which is this grand institution of the monarchy, the people are way ahead and they're moving the institution. All of a sudden, biracial, young people, different kind of music, much more open.
Divorcee.
Yeah.
Divorcee, yeah.
Yeah,
American.
and it's and
American.
right, and it's kind of like that was a great because the part I loved is we heard the music that was Megan's influence on the American music.
Stand by me.
Stand by Me,
Yeah.
and all that. That was her. And then right away, we heard "God Save the Queen," and it was like, wow, that's a
cool.
magical moment. We don't get that in America because in America, we don't have the difference between the government and the state.
Right.
We don't have a difference between the politics and the state. In England, they have the monarchy. That's Great Britain. And you can have different politicians. They can argue about different issues, but it's the state. The president is the state in America, or the representative of it. And so, therefore, the state has no consistency.
Right.
It just changes with whoever the president happens to be. And it's kind of like every once in a while, it was kind of nice to see that. Because I don't know, the closest thing we get is Super Bowl Sunday, when all Americans are sharing the same
Regardless of
experience.
background.
When does the whole country kind of, yeah, that's kind of neat. So I enjoyed it.
It's funny.
I liked it.
My wife, like you guys both, loved it.
Yeah.
Talked about it, watched it, got up early. And I'm not making a joke when I say this. I hate the monarchy. I hate the fact of, it has nothing to do with England, it's any
Yeah,
country.
yeah.
I hate that. Who in the F are they that they get all of that, I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Now, by the way, as a Catholic, I've argued the same thing about the Pope.
The Pope, sure.
And the Vatican. To me, it's exactly the same. I hate it. Now, I'm not going to do anything about it except bitch.
Yeah.
But I don't respect it. I get the tradition and all that. And by the way, you are, and people should know this, we've said it before, you were born in England. You're very, very much an American citizen, all that. You were just a small child when you left. But I have felt that way every time they're,
I get it.
I just hate that
My
stuff.
politics agrees with you.
Yeah.
My politics says, but I do think it's important, and I'm sounding awfully conservative on this, I realize, but I think institutions have value, that something is there just because the history has put it there, and there is at least that boundary, because when you have no institutions, we're running into what's happening now. The courts, the free press. You don't have to listen to the president. You don't have to do it.
Right.
It's like, is there anything where we say, whoa, why do you stand up when when you're a kid, when a grown-up walks into the room? I mean, some of these things we learn, these rules of, let's say, even politeness, or me talking about politeness, but even those kind of traditions, that's the anchor. Mm-hmm. And then around that we can argue.
Well, lucky for them that they get to be the anchor, because I asked the question, who the hell are they, whoever the hell they are, that they get all that for nothing? Now, by the way,
For
credit
being
to the
born.
two princes. They're both military guys. I very much respect that. And they made a big deal out of showing, they show up in their uniforms to get married, and that's their attempt to kind of connect with the average person in England. I just don't get, that's a tradition.
I get all of it. I love it.
I
don't know, man.
I mean, in
I don't
politics,
get it.
I would agree with everything you're saying. I'm on your side. But on that, and in fairness to the Queen, we say, look what she gets.
Yep.
That is life in a prison. I mean,
I'll
there's
take
endless
it.
money.
Give me the,
But-
send me to jail that way, yeah.
Well, no, she
I'll take
doesn't.
it.
But she really, there is a distance with her children. There's a sacrifice of family. You don't get that. She's always has to be the state.
The queen.
There are no moments off. Her whole life has been what is the proper thing to do for the state. So that is kind of a sacrifice. I don't, I think, frankly, Meghan Markle is at some point, just like with Princess Di, at some point, it's going to say, oh, man, what did I sign up for?
Well, she already is a celebrity.
Yeah,
She's
but
an
that's in
actress.
America, celebrity, or even any place else. If you're a celebrity,
Well, you lose, but you do lose, well, you would know this, and actually, I'm not joking here, I don't know it, but you do lose privacy when you're a celebrity. If you're recognizable, you walk down the street, and with the Queen of England, it's squared 50 times because, I agree, her whole life.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she has to do that. Go back into Russian history. They lined them all up and killed them, the Tsar and the whole family.
I'm not saying
And
the
they
history-
were some nasty people. Not the children. The children were victims of what their parents had done, but they were nasty people.
I don't think
were
monarchy
horrible.
should run the country. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I came out in favor of America during the Revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know.
On the record for that, huh?
I'm on the record for that.
the monarchy
no, I
is
don't want
just
them
a
to run it.
leftover
I
of
want
all
them
of
to
that.
be a representative. In America, I guess the closest thing we have, frankly, is the flag. That we think is.
Sacred. It's special.
But that's the state. Now, under that, they got the prime minister and the parliament and everybody. They got as rough politics as we have. Obviously, Brexit and all that. So their politics is just as a lot of fisticuffs and all that kind of stuff. But it's not such a bad thing as long as they don't have the power to run it, to make the decisions, which they don't. But there's some, you pay honor to something.
Lucky for them.
Yeah.
Lucky for that group of people, whoever the hell they are. I
But
don't
if
even know 'em,
someone
you know,
came to
some
you,
family.
and then if someone came to you and said you could be king, you wouldn't do it.
Not
That's
not a chance.
It's not
I-
a good.
it's-
You
I don't
can't even go to
believe
the
it.
store shopping if you're queen. I mean, really, I know they get everything, but after a while,
You just want to be normal.
No, I wouldn't do it.
That's not
I
a
wouldn't do
life.
it because I wouldn't. Oh,
I think that's
don't
why
know.
most of the family gets to be dysfunctional. They don't have normal relationships. You know, they got a son who's never,
think,
Charles,
Jerry-
has never been hugged by his mom
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean, it's
I
like,
think they argue that angle to try to justify their hanging on to all that. Because I do hear that, you know, like, oh, it's not such an easy job. Are you kidding me? Give me that job. I mean, I wouldn't take it.
the
I'd tell them
job
to
isn't
stick
tough.
it,
The
but
life is horrible.
the life. You could, because you could say that about the Vanderbilts. We just visited the Biltmore, Bonnie and I, a few weeks back. And the Biltmore it would be an example of the closest thing you have to royalty in America.
Sure.
They were called the robber barons. And they were around in the Industrial Revolution, and they raped the F out of America in many ways, and they also made America great in many ways because they set up a transportation system from sea to shining sea. But what they got for it, and when you study the Vanderbilts, because I came home and I thought I want to dig into this because it's like royalty, it catches my interest. Holy crap, these 6 children of the second Vanderbilt, but the one that really set the railroads up, they never worked a day in their life.
Right, I know.
They just built Biltmore, and they built places up in Connecticut, and they, I'm sure, argued they had, you know, in their own way, rough lives. And it's just
Well, they
I'm
did-
a real
yeah.
populist about this stuff. And
Yeah,
But-
we don't do it for the people that are in it.
It's
And
for
that's
what
where
it-
the
it's
Vanderbilt, that's
what
where
it
it could,
presents.
that example could be different, because those are just private people that all of a sudden want to live this privileged life. No one's doing it because, oh, we just love Elizabeth and she's entitled to. They all recognize
It's the position.
That's-
It's the title.
that's the title. And whoever is born into it,
For good,
that's
for
what
better,
your life
for worse.
is.
Yep.
And when King Edward, in 1936, decided, I don't want to give up my life. I want to be able to marry Simpson, was her name. Wanted to marry her. He gave it up, which was an acknowledgement that, yeah, life isn't so great when you got all that title. He gave up being king. I gave up being king. That's why I left Dickens.
he gave it up for love. He gave it up to marry
Yeah.
her. He didn't. I don't know whether or not he gave it up to not be trapped by that life.
Oh, no. He did it because he loved her,
Yeah,
but he
why not?
chose that over the life of.
Yeah.
It was
It's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it
I
is,
like
and it is.
God save our gracious Queen.
Well, I respect that. I mean, your early roots are in England, and I respect the people who see it that way. And it's one of those things. It's got two sides to it, but
But I
anyway.
love your populism and on everything
Well,
else. I'm with you.
You know, it's just I see it. We got Dawg Yawp coming up.
Yeah.
They're really good. And they have been here before, and wait till you hear them because
Oh,
it's a
they're so cool.
sitar
Yeah.
and another instrument, but it's just got this different, very, very, very different sound.
That's the instrument that Ravi Shankar.
Ravi
played.
Shankar and was made popular partially because of the Beatles,
Beatles,
because they
yeah.
embraced him and
And my good friend Paul. Yeah.
and your good friend Paul.
It's going to be on the podcast, Jared. Did you call him?
And I think Dawg Yawp, one of the members, the guy that plays the sitar, told us that, of course, he knew, Ravi Shankar probably caused the people in America who do play it to play it.
Sure. Introduced it.
That's how they
Yeah.
found out about it.
Yep.
So, what wanted to ask you, Jerry, there's so much, every time we come in here, there's more and more stuff, legal stuff about Donald Trump. And it will play out until the whole Mueller investigation is over, whenever that would be. But we've come up now on a year of that. We're now past that benchmark. And I know a lot of Democrats, and I'm an avid Democrat, you are too, we all are, and sometimes we cheer Donald Trump's legal problems. I hear people doing it sometimes. I feel it. What's your wisdom on whether that is okay to do, not okay? What's your analysis?
Yeah, I'm having that discomfort as well. And because I notice I do it. Like I'll be watching MSNBC and there's another story about Trump. And you because we're partisan, you get caught up into it. Hey, listen, honey, come here. Listen to what they're saying. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, I'm rooting for him to be in trouble. And I think there's something wrong with that. And there are a number of reasons why I think we should be careful about that. I don't want Trump to be president, but I don't want Trump to be president based on competency and the issues. That he's not good for the issues that we care about. So I want the political process to be the reason he's not president. I want the voters to be the reason he's not president. I don't want to start using our court system to decide who our leaders in America are going to be. Now, let's look at it like this. Trump's goal, obviously, is to stay in office. That's the goal. And what is his strategy? The strategy is all these analysts, I think we don't need all of that. It's very simple. He's got to hold on to 34 senators, and then he can never be removed from office. Don't even worry about impeachment. All impeachment does is set up the trial. And then it's up to the Senate to vote him out. And it needs 2/3, which means it needs 67 senators out of the 100. So if he has 34 senators that are going to stick with him, all this other stuff doesn't matter in terms of him still being president. It doesn't mean that when he's out, they can't indict him for things or whatever. But he's still president if he can hold on to just 34 senators. That is his audience. So how can he get 34, and let's face it, there'd be Republican senators to stay with him, even with bad news coming out, even with evidence from Mueller or whatever? His whole goal, and we talked a little bit about this a couple of weeks ago, is to make everything that's happening look partisan. If he makes it look like, well, the Democrats want me out, and this is why they're pushing this stuff, and Mueller and the FBI, they're partisan. The media, it's partisan. It's fake news. Even if what he's saying is not true, if he can convince people that like Trump, people that are Republicans, just a portion of the Republicans, make them believe that this is a partisan fight. Oh, all these politicians do it. All these politicians will talk to someone who has dirt on the opposing candidate. So the guy came from Russia. So the guy came from, some Arab country. Big deal, that's politics. If enough people can buy into that, and remember, it doesn't have to be a majority, just has to be a few Republicans, then what he's done is he's given Republican senators from Republican states cover. They then don't have to answer, well, what about what Mueller found? What about what the committee investigations found? The Republican can simply say, well, everybody knows that's purely partisan. And then people that, like Trump and want Trump to still be in, or the Republican Party that doesn't want to lose the presidency and doesn't want to lose Congress and everything else, they'll simply say, yep, that's the story we'll give. During the campaign season, we'll simply say it's all partisan. Every time you raise the issue, it's partisan. That's not what the American people care about. They don't care what his finances were. That's his whole strategy. 34 senators is all he has to hold on to, and all this other stuff, as fascinating as it is, as much as we cheer or don't cheer, whatever, it's irrelevant. It will not get rid of Trump. So that's the first reason that I don't like this cheering stuff, because it's playing into his hands. But there's a bigger reason I don't like this cheering stuff. We're a democracy. Think of how we felt when Trump And Michael Flynn was standing up at the Republican convention, lock her up, lock her up. And all of a sudden, issues aside, it just got to be, oh my gosh, this is America. We're starting to say we're going to lock up our opponents? That someone we don't want to be in office, just lock them up? They do that in third world countries where they have dictators. That's a dictatorship. You lock up your opponent. Sometimes you even kill them. So it's like, what are we doing? We've got to beat Trump on the issues. You want to talk the issues, then we can talk about, guns and health care and immigration, the economy, tax reform, all this stuff. That's what's important, because if we just get rid of Trump because we want to lock him up, well, then you got Pence. And basically, we gave the Republicans a free pass because we didn't make them have to defend their issues on issues that are clearly against what every poll shows most Americans want. You see, if we all talk about lock Trump up, we're going to get Pence. And Pence isn't going to do anything about guns. Nothing's going to change. So it not only is a bad strategy for not having Trump be president, but it's bad for America. We got to get away from this, just hating people that we're opposed to on the issues. And if it isn't violence, then put them in jail. It's just not healthy. It's not, I would argue it's not American. It's not what we're about. And it doesn't cure any issue that we really care about. Wouldn't it be a shame if we waste these couple of years now only talking about that and nothing happens on guns, nothing happens on immigration, nothing happens on health care? That's not going to be the issue at all. And you know what? There are probably a whole bunch of right-wingers that just love this. This is great. You don't think the NRA loves this stuff that's all going on? Fine, let them be talking about, what Mueller found, this, that, and the other. They don't have to go around. They don't have to give a speech about guns at all. After this last shooting, you didn't hear a thing. So that's the point I wanted to make today, is that we have to stop cheering if Trump is in legal trouble. Let the courts deal with that. Let the legal system, whatever happens, happens. We have to stay focused on the political issues, on what's going to make this a better country.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like Gene said at the top of our show, this evening we have with us Dawg Yawp, and I know I didn't say that right. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Welcome back. It's good to
Yes.
see you again.
Good to be back. When somebody straps on a sitar, it's not like picking up a
Little
mandolin
different-
or something,
Right.
you know.
It's a little different. Are you from Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Are you playing around here anytime soon?
Let's see. The next time is the Bewilder Fest at Urban Artifact,
Oh, cool.
and then Bellwether Fest.
Very cool.
In Northern Ohio.
Very, very cool.
That's
really-
huge. Can that fire anything?
It's really cool. It's beautiful. The first song that you're going to share with us this evening is I Want to Be a Dog.
Yep, that's right. Thank you. my mind's a sky. The clouds come from my heart, but I see the sun come shining through that silver lining part. I don't wanna be a tree where all the cats run away to me. Don't wanna be the sea where all the water carry my love away from me. I wanna be a dog. 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 I'm sitting down by the river, a mile from my home. I got this girl beside me, but inside I got nothing at all. I don't wanna be a tree where all the cats run away to me. Don't wanna be the sea where all the water carry my love away from me. I wanna be a dog. 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 Thank you very much.
That was awesome. Okay, second, what are we listening to now? Frosty Morn, is that correct?
Yeah, Frosty Morn. I thought this would be fun to do. It's an old traditional American folk song instrumental. We first heard a local group, the Tillers, do it.
Oh yeah.
And,
We know they tell us.
Where do you learn?
I was gonna say, what made you want to play it, and where did you learn to play it?
Yeah, Mom, can I have one of those? Well, who do you go to?
To learn.
Yeah, kind of, except my parents thought I was a little nuts when I finally asked for a sitar. They were like, okay, we got to put a stop to this. We got you a guitar. Sitar.
That's about enough there.
And who did you find to teach you?
Nobody.
Really?
I saved up actually watching dogs and mowing lawns, and I just saved up a lot. They helped me out a little bit, my parents, even though they were unsure of what it even was. And I ordered it online through this college in California called the Ali Akbar College of Music. And Ali Akbar played with Ravi Shankar. And you were right, you nailed it right on the head with Ravi Shankar really introducing the West to the sitar. If it weren't for him and then George Harrison, who I heard George Harrison play it on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, what is that thing? Yeah. And I just met Rob. I was a freshman in high school. And I thought it was an electronic instrument because the sound was so nuts. And he's like, nope, that's a sitar, and you got to check out Ravi Shankar. And it took a while to get it in tune, but then here we are. But I've actually altered this one to be able to play more Western music. I've added frets so that it's chromatic typically there are some whole step jumps here, and along down the neck. And I invented this strap when we were living in Newport together, and then I also made a capo that I don't think I'll be using, but it's functional.
When you go through airport security,
Oh man, yeah,
you know, the guy's going to say, "What is that?"
And
then you're going
why?
to say, "Yeah."
yeah, it's a sitar, yeah. And I always like watching it go through the X-ray. It's really cool.
yeah.
I was driving through Kansas once though, and they pulled me over. I was moving across the country, and the police officer was like, "What is that thing?" And he made me get it out, and I played it for him on the side of the highway. He had his mind was blown.
That's a great story.
That's really cool.
I didn't.
No ticket.
No ticket. I was like moving to California. I had no shirt on, hair longer than this. And I saw him pull someone over, and we made eye contact, and I'm like, yep.
Here it goes.
He's coming for me.
Well, let's hear Frosty Morn.
Frosty Morn. Okay,
Excellent. Gentlemen.
Great.
It's that time.
Thank you very much.
Sing some Down by the Riverside with Mr. Springer here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the cop,
Oh, yes.
the cops are going to pull you over for this too.
He's here all
Is
night.
it true you were singing with Springer?
Won't be so lenient.
Yeah.
Oh, and tell us, I'm sorry, guys, tell us real quick where we can find your music. All right, online.
On Spotify, iTunes.
Excellent.
DawgYawp.com.
Awesome. And it's DawgYawp, right? Thanks.
Don't lay down my heavy load down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I won't lay down my heavy load down by the riverside.
You've been listening to Tales, Tunes, and Tomfoolery, recorded live at the Folk School Coffee Parlor in Ludlow, Kentucky. Thanks to Patrick Kennedy for writing our opening song, and to you for listening. Check out our website at jerryspringer.com.